Today's video, we're going to be shaving with MacDuffs Backcountry Bourbon and doing a head-to-head with the formidable Frather Artist Club Kamisori stainless steel and the mighty Weck. If you like the sounds of that, stay tuned. Let's get shaving. Greetings, friends. Welcome to the den with me, J-Mac, the Red Island Shaver. So glad to have you all aboard for the midweek video. And yes, MacDuffs version 4 base Backcountry Bourbon. Ooh, what a scent on this. Oh, so good. So good. And I've been on a bourbon and tobacco kick all week, actually. And yeah, that's what I've been using all week, is bourbon or tobacco scented soaps, which I do believe I have enough for at least 5 shaves without repeating. I think something around there, yeah. Oh, very good. Love the scent on this indeed. And the brush for today is going to be my CoyoteCuts Demented Topper. One of my favorite brushes, or probably is my most favoritist brush. Custom from Richard at CoyoteCuts. And we'll get right into loading this up and lathering it. So the scent notes on this are toasted oak, vanilla, patchouli, cedarwood, Tonka bean. Might be something else in there that I forgot. The scent notes and a write-up about the soap will be in the description box below. I usually always include that stuff. So all the pertinent information is always listed in the show notes or the description. And yeah, we'll just get right into lathering this. I'm going to try not to load too much into the brush. A little bit goes a long way with MacDuffs version 4, and that might even be a little bit too much, but we'll see how it goes. So how is everybody doing? Your week going good? Going good here. I had a brain fart. I got my old Stratocaster copy out of the basement to see if it still worked, and lo and behold, the electronics still work in that guitar. And the action isn't quite as bad as I thought, so I was doing some adjustments to it. I know the grub screws are kind of corroded on the saddles. All the hardware is pretty much corroded, but it still all moves except for one grub screw on one saddle. And the truss rod works. So I think maybe later on today or tomorrow I'm going to really try and dial it in, get the action as low as I can with the strings that are on it. And then end of the month I'm probably going to get some new strings and give it a good cleaning because it's never been cleaned in years. And string it up, and I will have my Stratocaster for those Stratocaster tones, which is cool. So every guitar has a different set of tones that are inherent to that guitar. That's why we have different guitars. And I've been kind of missing the Strat tone for some things, so I'm very glad to have it. But anyway, I'm going to continue lathering, but there is a person that wants to tell you something, so I'm going to turn the floor over to him, and we'll be back once the lathering is done. So yeah, check this out. Alright, so here's the thing. Well, that guy is taking like 20 minutes to lather up that soap. Let's have a quick discussion about shavettes, especially if you're new to the world of wet shaving. So shavettes come in a myriad of different forms. What a shavette is, it's like a straight razor. The motions are the same, but instead of having to go and get it honed, they use replaceable blades. So I do have a few examples here. I have a couple of half DE shavettes. So what these do is they take a half DE blade that's snapped in half. So you have like this type. I don't use this one because these ones are kind of dangerous because the corners can poke you and kind of a pain in the butt to load. But you take it apart, and you put your blade in there, and see, I can't even get the darn thing apart. Anyway, you put your blade in there and you lock it down and you shave with it. There's also, I have the Focus Slim, you guys have seen that. Also a half blade DE shavette. As you can see, there's a half DE blade loaded in there. Also, there's the Dovo shavettes, which are another replaceable blade shavette. They have an insert that comes out. You load the blade in the insert, and they do take different blades. So I think they will take injector blades, AC blades, and they will take half DE blades depending on the insert. Speaking of AC, AC is short for Artist Club. That is Frather. is one of them like this, which we're going to see in the video today. It takes a Feather Artist Club blade. I have a professional blade loaded in here. Feather gives you like 5 choices of blades. There's the professional, I like the professional milds, the Pro Guard, the Super. I think there's another one there as well. Also, there's other variations of that shavette. You can get it with scales, without scales. Then there's a few different companies that make the same style. And then we have the Weck, also known as a hair shaper. This was a surgical prep tool back in the day. So if you had to get surgery and they had to shave your body hair, they would use one of these. There's a few different variants of these. This is the Sextoblade, which is the largest version, closest to a straight razor as far as size goes. Some of them are smaller, a little bit harder to handle. This one just fits in the hand perfectly, just like a straight razor. And yeah, and that's kind of a quick introduction to shavettes. Nice thing about these is you don't have to get them honed. You just, when the blade gets dull, you take the old blade out, you put a new blade in, and you're ready to rock and roll. So that chucklehead should be done lathering up. So let's go back to him, and we'll get on with the shave. And just like that little bit of movie magic, we are all lathered up and smelling great. Man, I love the scent on this soap. So the idea for this came from Jim Will Shave, my brother across the pond. And he's like, you know, you should do a Weck versus a Feather Kamisori. So I was like, that's a great idea. That's what we're going to do. So I have here a Weck Sextoblade, courtesy of Marion the Barbarian and Magic Mike Shaves. Thank you very much. So these are a surgical prep instrument from back in the day. Can you imagine going in for a vasectomy and the nurse coming at you with one of these to prep the area? I couldn't imagine. Yeah, no, I'll do it myself. But yeah, really like these. The thing I like about the Weck is that little thumb notch, that jimped thumb notch on the bottom of the tang. This thing just locks in so nice. And we have a second use Kismet blade in here, which are kind of regarded as like the best blades for the Wecks. And so yeah, here we go. Oh, very nice. Yeah, these are nice and sharp indeed. Great shaving razors. I find the Weck is it's a lot like a perfectly honed straight razor. And a perfectly honed, like, hollow ground straight razor at that. I left a little there, but that's okay. We'll get that on the across the grain. So we're going to switch hands now, and we're going to go to the Feather Artist Club. This is like the 4th shave on this Feather Artist Club blade. And we'll compare the two blades. On the first pass, I would almost rank them about equal. Yeah, I would rank them about equal on the first pass, I think. Don't feel all that much different, and the thing I like about these is the angle is fairly similar too, which makes it easy for me to switch back and forth. Try and get the soap off my face here. It's like stuck on there. Crazy. MacDuffs is is some good soap indeed. It takes very little to make a great lather. That's one thing about MacDuffs. So I overloaded that. I was another 10 minutes at least making that lather, while other me was kind of giving you a brief rundown on the shavettes. And but yeah, wicked soap. The scent on this is just killer. Absolutely killer. I do get like notes of bourbon in it, even though there's no bourbon in it. All right, so second pass, we'll go back to the Weck for the across the grain. Once again, kind of the same fairly shallow angle. You really got to be careful when you put this to your face though. And you can hear it doing its thing there. Open up the angle just a little tiny bit with the Weck. But it basically shaves just like an extra hollow ground straight razor that's been like really well honed. So if that's really your jam, you might want to go for the Weck. Hear it doing its thing. But yeah, it's sliding through those hairs with ease. But yeah, that's what I like in the Weck too. I liken it to shaving with a perfectly honed straight razor. Now we'll switch up to the Feather Kamisori for the other side. I might just give the slightest edge of smoothness to an AC blade over the Weck, if I'm going to be completely honest. While the Weck is very smooth, it does have those characteristics of a straight razor, which a little bit more raspy, a little bit different feeling on the face as far as the blade. And the Feather AC blades just have that more mechanical, almost surgical-like precision and sharpness to them. Which, you know, you think the Weck, being a surgical prep instrument, might have that characteristic, but I find it doesn't. I find the Feather, at least for me and my beard, the Feather, I just get that slight edge when it comes to an across the grain or an against the grain. But do I like using both? I do. I actually really do. Especially if you're going to look for a shave that's going to be more like, even more like a straight razor feel, then a Weck and a Kismet is going to get you there. And then the Feather is going to be more of a, I don't want to say smooth, but smoother. If you know what I mean. It's just has a little bit of an edge there. And we'll do this again. Still very smooth shaving though. It gets the job done for sure. I quite enjoy it. Yeah, like that's almost BBS over there. Blade longevity is a different thing as well. For me, with the Kismet, I'm gonna get about 6 shaves, 6.5 shaves on a Kismet blade, and that's it. It's done, and I can shave no more. Feather, Artist Club, 16 shaves. Just doing the buffing. My skin really likes to do the buffing in that area, but this blade is just slicing through everything. Try and get a good stretch on. It's actually hard. My skin is so slick. Some alum would definitely come in handy right about now. But yeah, so that's the comparison. I'm going to do a quick cleanup. We'll come back and give my final thoughts on these two shavettes. Okay, and I am back. And you know, that was a very nice shave. Both sides were damn near BBS. Didn't really require that much cleanup. No more than usual on either side. So I think really, if you're trying to use this video to form a conclusion of which type of shavette you want to purchase, and we're going to use the matching splash here, I would say it all depends what feel you want. If you want something that's going to be closer to a straight razor as far as blade feel, then yeah, I would go with the Weck, because that is pretty close to feeling like a nice hollow ground straight razor. If you're looking for more of that like super laser sharp, you know, really glides through hair, especially like multiple days growth, like really easily, then yeah, you'd probably want to look at one of the Feathers and in an AC blade. Or if you're like me and you can't make up your mind, you just get both. And like I said, the blades, so the Feather, depending on your skin, you're probably going to go double digits with a Feather regardless of your skin and beard type. With a Weck, then it's going to vary. It's going to be between probably 5 to 10 shaves, I would say. So there's that variable, and the other variable is finding a Weck. They're vintage hair shaper tools. The only way to find one would be on the Bay, like eBay or the groups. At least with the Feather, you know, you can go on Amazon, be a link down below, or you can you know, go to any of the online retailers and pick one up. But that's kind of my thoughts on the two of them. I love both of them. Use them interchangeably, you know, either or, and get a great shave, and you know, just enjoy the ride. So that's it for me today. Reminder, Canadian Mafia Show tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't entered the giveaways on our page yet, make sure you do so, because that's the only way you can win. And hopefully we'll see you all there tonight. I'll be hosting as usual, and looking forward to having some fun. So we'll see you later on tonight. And we'll let you go. So remember, be safe, be kind to one another. Most importantly, have a great day. Need a better shave. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.